see the workhorse Jonathan Taylor. He's coming off a great week, reaching triple digits in yards with a collection of touchdowns. It's the Raiders and the Ravens, and it comes your way next on Madden Football.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland, and M&T Bank Stadium. Today, it's Week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here, as it'll be the Las Vegas Raiders taking on the Baltimore Ravens. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Raven team as they get ready here. They come in on a pretty good roll here, winners of 3 straight. On the other side of the field for the visiting Raiders, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet. And both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
A pair of 3-0 teams set to lock horns for the right to remain unbeaten. And we're off in Week 4. And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. Number 8, Lamar Jackson, trotting onto the field at quarterback, ready to lead this Ravens offense.
And for how good he is throwing the ball, it's his running that makes him so dangerous. He had a couple of touchdowns on the ground in last week's game, so we'll see what they dial up for him for this one.
They'll start with the option. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. It looked like almost a miscommunication defensively, because once he decided to keep it, he had pretty smooth sailing.
Yeah, it became a question of, wait a minute, who's got the quarterback? And when you talk about miscommunication, it's supposed to be called assignment football on the defensive side of the ball, but the assignment gets mixed up. That's the end result.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. On the run, this is J.K. Dobbins. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 21 carries, 85 yards.
Well, to no one's surprise, he gets an early rep right there, and they've been playing their best ball this season as they've built this winning streak. And that includes the ground game, where he's kept the offense productive and put them in position to win ball games. The question now is, can this defense that he's facing do what others haven't and finally put a stop to this streak?
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's a 2nd and 8. Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. That's complete. It's Zay Flowers with it. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 38-yard line. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18.
And even though this is a top 5 rushing offense, and we see this especially early in the game, they're going to do their best to keep you honest. They don't want you getting the habit of stacking the box, so that's a good throw there, and they're able to come up with the first down.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 38. An option handoff here to Dobbins. To the 36-yard line, stop there. You look at this Raiders defense, and this unit, very tough to throw against, currently 2nd best in the NFL.
Take those rankings, throw them right out the window, because this is what you prepare for, this is what you practice for, this is what you think about. The ultimate test, taking on the #1 overall offense in the league.
Line of scrimmage, the 36 on 2nd and 8. Another run here with Dobbins. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34. Well, this defense for the Raiders very strong in that victory a week ago.
This defense certainly has a lot to be proud of coming off of last week's game, because when you only give up 14 points in a contest, you give your team a great chance to win. The best defense in the league is usually going to average giving up 18, 19 points a game. So to be under that, a terrific achievement.
On On third down, Jackson. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 16. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18. Well, on third down, he wanted to go to one of his most dependable targets, and that's who he found, his tight end there, to pick up the first, Charles.
And you use the proper word there, dependable, and sometimes spectacular, because tight ends nowadays, they can do it all. But they're the guys you trust, especially across the middle of the field where there's traffic. He delivers, and they pick up nice yardage.
From the red zone now, here's Jackson on first down. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
I like his awareness in the pocket there. Nowhere to go with the football. So instead of forcing it to the sideline, he's just going to put this one into the harbor and live to fight another down without getting wet.
Here's 2nd and 10. Throwing is Jackson. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Now it's Jackson. And that will be incomplete.
Well, that's the second time in this opening drive alone that he's dropped a pass. We know that that can't continue, but they got to determine what it's about. Is he just super amped for the game and maybe he'll settle in, or is his focus just not there?
So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. This a 33-yard attempt. Tucker's kick is good, and the Ravens strike first at 3's in. All in all, a pretty decent opening drive, Charles. Pretty balanced. They had the passing game going and the rushing attack, too.
I would think they have to be happy with that start because you get your ground game going, which means your offensive line and your runners are pretty happy, and then you get your aerial attack going as well. So your quarterback and receivers have smiles on their faces. Now both up to speed, awaiting their next possessions for this game. They can't wait to get started again.
And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. They're led by their quarterback from the University of Alabama, Mac Jones.
And he's playing at a very high level here in this early part of the season. In fact, he leads the NFL in passing yards. Now, that's not always an indicator of success, but in his case, it is.
1st and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there. A carry by Taylor to start the drive. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. Simply not much more you can ask out of your running back. Over 100 yards and the 3 touchdowns.
And for an old coot like me, I loved it because he did it on the ground. A running back taking control of the game. That's what I like to see.
Hold on. An old coot?
Coot, C-O-O-T.
All right, I'll look that up later. Now Jones. Hearns brings it in. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. Give them 12 yards that time at a Las Vegas first. Throwing Jones. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. Back to throw. Jones escaping the pressure right. That's complete to Jalen Hyatt. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 12 yards there as they keep this drive.
That play was dedicated to my son. That's something I would never do, but that's something my son would do. So Ashton, that one was for you, buddy.
On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. Running straight ahead, Taylor. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The Raiders at 3-0 here in the month of September. And they coming on a pretty good roll here. Winners of 3 straight.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
From the 48-yard line, here's the 2nd and 8. They run once more with Taylor. And he's fortunate to get anything from that. Give him a yard up to the 49. Now a pause, and there's an injured Raven in need of some assistance. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. On 3rd down, Jones. They'll set up the screen to Taylor. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. They've got another 1st down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
Now Jones on 1st down. Well, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete. Well, look at this Baltimore defense. They've been a very good unit against the pass, defending at 5th best in the league.
Yeah, this has been a good defense, but they're going to have to really prove it in this one, because guess what? They're facing the #1 passing offense in the NFL. It's definitely a prove-it day for them.
And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. 11 yards for number 11. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Again, he'll drop to throw. That is caught by Josh Oliver, the former San Jose State Spartan. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. Up the middle, here's Taylor. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Now a give to Taylor. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people, because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers, because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they will just roam and hit.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Jones hitting Mayer here on the out route. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll run here with Taylor. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. Operating from the gun. Jones looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
It hasn't been a real good start to this game from a defensive perspective, but now after the incompletion on 2nd down.
I like how the ball, I like how that play, they say, oh, it's a perfectly accurate pass, and then it went fucking 5 yards to the left of my receiver. Good job, Madden.
A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. Back to throw. Jones. Looking for Hearns, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Roquan Smith. And the Ravens are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line.
Definitely not.
It's going to be one of those games, man. It's just going to be one of those games where everything's covered, and then when you throw it to someone who's open, they're all of a sudden not open.
With that turnover. Now, Pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the other side.
You know, like when you're playing
here for their second possession of the game.
turn this down.
They got the ball.
When you're playing a Madden game, right? When you're playing Madden and you're playing let's say you guys play franchise like I do, and you have these games here and there where it's like your team just feels slower, weaker, you know, you're just kind of trudging along, you're having a hard time playing the game. That's not the case. What's happening is the defensive players are reacting differently. So their defensive players, they react when the ball is thrown. As soon as it leaves the quarterback's hand, the defensive players on the AI that the computer wants to win, the defensive players will react to the second the quarterback throws the ball. Second it leaves his hand, that's when the defensive players react. Your defensive players, and if you don't believe me, watch the plays, like watch the replays. So if you're playing, like, let's say they want Baltimore to win this game, you'll see Lamar Jackson, he'll complete 70% of his passes. That's because my players won't react until after their players catch the ball. They'll just kind of be in the direction. They'll make some plays here and there, but they won't react. Really, they won't like be aggressive on the ball until the other receivers already caught it. My defensive players don't do that, or their defensive players don't do that. Their defensive players start reacting as soon as the ball leaves my quarterback's hands. So that's where you see sometimes where it's like, oh, why am I throwing 60-70% and I can't complete any passes in this game? That's what's happening. It's complete bullshit, and the AI is controlling the game. And what happens, they control the turnovers, because what happens is the players are reacting as soon as the quarterback throws the ball, so you throw interceptions that you normally wouldn't throw. Like on that one play I threw an interception, if you want to go back and watch it, it was actually a drag. I was going to throw a drag to Tucker at the X, the first receiver. Not only did he run a shitty play, he ran the drag way too deep, and then all of a sudden he stopped in the middle of the field where there was two linebackers. So I said, fuck it, I'm going to throw it to the two square, which was my second receiver. Now, the reason why I reacted so late is because the fucking play took so fucking long to develop. Because he's getting hit in his route, he's running across, and then he fucking stops. I'm like, fuck it, I'll throw it to the guy who's wide open. And the second the ball left my hand, Roquan Smith was on the right side of where I was throwing. So I was throwing to my left, Roquan Smith's on the right. As soon as I threw the ball, he turns and reacted, boom, intercepted it. I'm going to throw 3 picks in this game, and there's nothing I can do about it. Unless I just run the ball every play. There's nothing I'm going to be able to do about it.
From the gun on third down, Jackson. That is caught. And he will have a Ravens first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Jackson with a handoff to Dobbins on the option. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Now 2nd and 3. To throw is Jackson. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Now Jackson. He's got his running back out of the backfield. And he will have the Ravens first down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards.
Well, they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another first down. They've got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Targeting Dobbins again, and he's got it again. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. But despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. Second down. Well, it looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
So maybe just a momentary setback on what's been a great drive so far, but 2nd and 13 here. To throw again is Jackson. He'll swing this out to Dobbins. And he's brought down, but not before a really nice stiff arm to create a little space. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Already a pair of 3rd down conversions for them on this drive, but right now they need 5 yards on this 3rd down try. Able to find the open man. That's complete.
But like you see what I'm talking about, how it's like very, very convenient that it's 3rd and 5. He completes a short pass that's kind of covered. It should have been covered tighter than that. But he all of a sudden, he gets tackled 5.5 yards on 3rd and 5, and he's completing every pass he needs to complete. All of my shit's covered. This has me losing this game and it being ugly and sloppy on my end written all over it.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins, and the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. They'll go again with Dobbins. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41.
Even on that play there, he made a good play there. But even, see how they're just reacting to like when the players kind of, my players are only reacting when someone has the ball and they're kind of close to them. They're not being aggressive. They're not attacking. Like the Baltimore's linebacker, if I was running the ball, that would have been a negative play. That wouldn't have been, hey, let's wait from the gain 2 yards and then hit him. See, he's kind of just reacting after, he's kind of reacted to him when he kind of lets him catch the ball, then he kind of reacts to him. So yeah, this is what's going to happen all game. Yeah, he just kind of catches it. Now I'm going to react. They're going to be, and these guys aren't even open. It's not like the AI is making them open. They're just, my team's just not really doing anything. They're just kind of like letting them do whatever. It's just letting them catch it and then tackling them.
A short throw caught by Andrews.
Yeah, but it's like,
Stiff arm there before he's
I'm telling you, he's going to complete 70% of his passes. If he starts running, he's going to run for 70, 80 yards on me. I'm going to lose my 2 scores at least. I'm going to go throw for 120 yards and 1 touchdown and 2 picks. Taylor's going to run for 20 carries and 50 yards. You'll see. This game's going to be completely sloppy.
There's a good run there. Going to take this to about the 10-yard line. 41 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries. So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now it's Jackson. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. The Raider defense strong on that one in coverage, and now it's 4th. Another good drive, Charles, but it looks like another that might end in a field goal try.
They've made some nice plays. They've given themselves opportunities, but as you noted, another field goal attempt coming up. And that's not how they want to end drives. They've got to figure out what's the final touch that they need to push it across the goal line.
Yeah, still yet to find the end zone. Tucker's kick is good, and they're able to double their lead in this first half. It's 6-0. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
What's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense, the firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. They find themselves down here after an interception on their opening drive led to a field goal. But all in all, you'd have to say fortunate to be only down 6.
Yeah, and you know how teams huddle on the sideline before they come out on the field in between series? Guaranteed with 7.
I mean, just perfect coverage. He just sat there, didn't move, reacted when the ball was thrown. It's perfect coverage. 90% of the time. Okay, so let me explain something to you when you're playing this game. Most of the time, if you're running an out, right, even if the corner's here, and he does this, he kind of goes back and doesn't really move. If he doesn't kind of like move back and kind of flower out to one side or another, you can beat him on a cut like that most of the time. But see, the second you can tell by the corner. Watch how he reacts. The second the ball leaves my quarterback hands, he starts reacting. He's reacting before the guy even cuts. The perfect example. How am I supposed to complete that pass?
Looking to throw. Jones. That one complete to Trey Tucker. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. His first catch there. Good for 10 yards and a first down. Back to throw. Jones. Flush to his right. And he's going to lose a yard or two. Taken down behind the line.
Now I'm afraid to throw any passes. I know there was someone open, but I don't know where my quarterback's going. I'm on the run. I don't know if he's going to throw it so errant that he's going to throw it in another receiver, a defender's hands. Now I don't know what to do.
They give to Taylor out of the gun.
I love how their best defenders barely block. Number 0, their best defender barely has anybody blocking them.
On the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Got what he needed for the first down with a gain of 2. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime.
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do.
It'll go as a gain of 4, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
And that one incomplete.
Yeah, I was just saying, where's the flag? Like, they're hitting me in my routes. Thank you.
Trying to defend the out route there, got the PI call.
And you know what's difficult about that one is sometimes you want to make the undercut move and go for the football, and other times you just want to hang on the upfield shoulder and make the tackle. I think he got caught in between and created a foul.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 12 more yards there and another first down. Looking to throw. Jones buying time to his left. And seeing no options.
I knew they were going to shift like that. I knew that was going to happen. I knew that was going to happen. There was no reason for that corner to let this guy go. I knew that was going to happen.
Completion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
Jones throw here into the hands of Hearns. And they're going to have
again, the same coverage. And the only reason why I completed that is I threw it as hard to my left as I possibly could.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Throw left side complete. That's Taylor. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. 2nd and 2, first down marker at the 5-yard line. They'll look to throw again. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Why is he throwing the bullet pass there? I'm just throwing it normally. Like, why?
But so far, an absolute total effort. They've disrupted the passing game, stressed the pocket for the quarterback. They forced him into air throws. Everything they're doing.
Good accuracy, out of reach. Awesome.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete is wrong.
Back-to-back incompletions of what was once a nice drive. Stalled out here. I'm going to give credit to the secondary partner. Never gave up as they gave up a few yards, and they came through on that play to deny that pass and force the 4th down.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. With the football back over to Baltimore and J.K. Dobbins. First month of the season, those numbers pretty solid. Does he continue that?
I think so, because when you come out of the gate this strong, that means that you have planned for it and you like the results that you're getting. So I wouldn't have any doubt that the head coach, offensive coordinator, actually called him in and said, look, you're our guy, okay? We're going to continue to stick with this as long as we're winning games. You ready for the challenge? And then they presented it to the rest of the team. I think we'll see plenty of that as the season moves on.
Well, I'm sure he said challenge accepted.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit, even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. So if you like field goals, this is your game. 6-3, 3 field goals at the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a bit. But first, time for a trip around the league on this final weekend of September. We'll get started out at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. And it's the Chiefs who have the lead in that one. Rashee Rice, a touchdown reception. From there, we'll head east to check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte. And you can see, currently they trail in that ball game. Will Levis with a couple of touchdown passes there. Lastly, let's get to the Windy City. See what's happening with the Bears at home at Soldier Field. As you can see, the score there in the second quarter. The Bears still in a dogfight, but this would be a good victory for them if they could get it. This one's been as good as advertised. Just a field goal separating these two teams. This was a very level first half, and I'd expect to see more of the same after the break. Both teams going back through their game plans, making their final halftime adjustments. And for the call of the second half, we go back up to Baltimore and rejoin Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And he returns this to the 22. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well, and they've kept them around in this game. Now, they got some time, The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
From the 24, Jones eluding the pressure right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down.
His impatience has to be bubbling over, trying to find a way to get his team to the end zone for the first time. He did find a way to break, contain, and get outside to buy his receivers a little extra time, but the connection couldn't be made on that throw.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete. Surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Ravens will take over. So here are the Ravens to take over on offense. They're on a 3-game winning streak and right now looking good in this one as well. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 right at the 30. They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. Jackson to Andrews on that one. First down, Baltimore.
First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
And this nearly an interception, but it's incomplete. Well, a turnover really would have helped him there, but not to be. Now a 2nd and 10. Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Jackson will throw again. Open man is Bateman. It's complete. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. So it was already a gain on the completion, but tack on some more with that penalty.
Absolutely, and no matter what angle you're making the tackle from, you can't grab the face mask, and that's just putting your defense on its heels just a little bit more.
They will get 4 yards here on the first down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Now Jackson on 2nd down. And he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete.
My number 1 corner misses just an interception right in their hands. Just incredible.
He might come away with it. Instead, it's going to wind up as just an incomplete pass.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. The Raider defense strong on that one in coverage, and now it's 4th.
Smart move to throw that one away. You're in field goal range, so you definitely don't want to be loose with the ball. And that's great work by this defense to force a 4th down.
So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. From the right hash, it's a 38-yard attempt. Tucker's kick is good, and they continue to lead in the battle of field goals here. It's now 9-3. So that one is his 3rd of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high, as he once had 6 field goals.
Brandon, 6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Okay, can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice. Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. Taking it about the 1. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Now the Vegas offense heading back out there.
And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Well, they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
2nd down, another chance for Hubbard. And some room to maneuver. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. This is caught by Hearns. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Throw left side, pulled in by Tucker. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. A give up the middle, Hubbard. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on first down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on 2nd.
Throwing, Jones. Short throw, and that's hauled in by Mayer. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens 16. 11 more yards there, and this methodical drive continues.
I love the drive they're working on here because they know they can take the lead with a touchdown. And so far on this drive, so good. They've moved the ball down the field with very little resistance defensively. But they better be prepared for some adjustments to come their way now.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Raiders are an extra point away now from moving out in front. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. Put them on top here in the 3rd.
Ravens 9.
On as the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. Holmes going to opt against bringing it out, and they will begin at the 25. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Option play, and they'll hand to Dobbins. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now a toss left side for Dobbins. He'll get a yard, that's all, as they get him down at the 28.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
I'm eating lunch, so I'm kind of letting my defense work. That's why I'm not going to blaze. I'm just kind of eating lunch.
The Raiders call on a nickel set here for third down. Off the play fake to Dobbins. Here's Jackson. Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete.
I would dare say that these guys would have liked to have given their defense a little bit more rest since they gave up a touchdown their last time out. But alas, my man, that's not going to happen.
Yep, they're going to have to grab those helmets, get right back out there. The Ravens send their punter out now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. Fielded at about the 28. It's a 42-yard punt, but 8 on the return. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. The Raiders offense coming back out onto the field. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive. Able to avoid him at the 40. And a good physical run that time. He's going to wind up gaining 5 on that one.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
2nd and 5. They go to the ground again with Taylor. Oh, he shifts past him. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. 60 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Good, strong, explosive run that started inside, which means you've got to control those defensive linemen, the defensive tackles, the nose guards. Those guys have to be controlled. How about the offensive line, the job they just did?
Yeah, key that A-gap usually on those runs, right?
That's where it all starts because everyone wants to kind of control that area. It disrupts things from the defensive side and the offensive side. As we just saw, it opens up possibilities.
And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays.
Holy shit! No, they're not being aggressive. This is awesome.
Creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Now Jones. Open man, it's Mayer in the end zone for the Raiders touchdown. From 13 yards out. And the Raiders will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. Well, this offense only mustered 3 points in the first half on that field goal. They picked up the pace now. 2 third-quarter touchdowns.
Hey, you remember that appearance we had last week in front of that crowd, and they asked about halftime adjustments and all that was going on. And remember what I said. It's not always an adjustment at halftime. Sometimes just remembering the game plan and playing better, tuning it up and just working through it methodically. They got it done in this case.
Of course, I'll always remember that appearance because I had on a brown belt with black shoes, and you pointed that out in front of the crowd. So thanks for that.
I said that out loud?
You did.
My bad.
Holmes going to opt against bringing it out, and they will begin at the 25. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
Exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing it, they've got to find some type of a play. Multiple plays that puts the ball in the air and allows for them to have some success.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Just what they need, a lecture from me, but subpar offense is what helped get them into this spot. And now they're continuing the trend with incompletions. That won't get them out of it if they don't change something soon.
We're in Baltimore, 3rd quarter action, 2nd and 10. Here's Jackson. And his throw is incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule.
Gonzalez had at least 2 picks today, at least.
You might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Throwing is Jackson. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Hey, I got to give it to Madden.
Give a little bit of credit to the
They're not kind of screwing me on this game. I thought that I would be getting screwed on this game, but I'm kind of not. In the first half, it was rough. I made my adjustments and all that. They're not being as aggressive, so fucking good job on that.
44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. That's taken on the 25. Following the punt return here, there is someone shaken up. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown. Their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles' defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. From the gun, it's Taylor. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 74 yards on the ground for him so far.
I don't think anyone thought we'd see a run facing 2nd and that long, and that element of surprise, I think, helped make that play so successful. Nice effort on that carry, and it took what seemed like 2nd and impossible. Now has him within throwing range on the 1st down.
And he is going to have the Raiders' 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Now a pause, and there's an injured Raven in need of some assistance. So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 46. Running straight ahead, Taylor. Rocky Sin there to make the tackle. Now I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to take it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
On 3rd down, here's Taylor. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. Now we get a stoppage because a member of the Raiders shaken up on that one. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. A short throw, and that's hauled in by Mayer. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards. Now that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down. Up the middle, here's Taylor. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. It's David Ajabo there for the tackle. Good gain there on 1st down, and keeps him in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone, space is at a premium for receivers to try and operate and shake themselves free. That one's incomplete.
Jones now from the gun on 3rd down. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Raiders are going to be moving to 4-0 as they extend their lead. Well, that's certainly going to bump up the old win probability index because now it's a 2-score game here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, you're taking... Now win probability index. This game's definitely not over. We're not looking at a 0.5% or something. It's just 2 scores. But the way that this team has played, to me, what I've seen, they absolutely deserve to win this game. They've been the better team by far throughout.
On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. Holmes going to opt against bringing it out, and they will begin at the 25. And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt, then you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. And Bateman, he'll go in motion right here. Now Jackson taps this forward jet sweep. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
And he appears to be about 2 feet short on 3rd and 3. Leaves him with a 4th and 1.
Well, they picked up a portion.
Now my defense is the one that's attacking. And they're playing like dog shit. So that's kind of weird, but whatever.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Ravens first down. Boy, that was a tough couple of yards to pick up, but they convert on 4th and 1. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Jackson now. Throw caught by Flowers. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down.
Good yardage on the completion there. When they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score, because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. And looking for Andrews, but this is intercepted. Picked by Kenneth Murray. And the Raiders are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. This spot in the 4th quarter with that deficit, had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. They have to like the position that they are in. 4th quarter, 2-score lead, and now the ball back after the INT. A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48. They'll start on the ground with Hubbard, and he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
That'll go for a gain of 7. And now 2 yards to go on 3rd down.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
And this offense on 3rd down today, 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for this with Hubbard. And this is not going to be enough. Was in search of 2 yards and only got halfway there. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
The kick by Carlson is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Charles, even as long field goals become more and more common, this is still very rarefied air. Only just have been kicked from 60 yards or further, and you can add his name to the list now.
And as calm as he tried to present himself, there's no doubt there were some nerves as he lined up to attempt that kick. But once the ball was snapped, he just swept the leg and boom, over the crossbar.
Holmes going to opt against bringing it out, and they will begin at the 25.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. Now Jackson. He'll find Bateman once more. Jackson to Bateman there for the Baltimore first. To throw is Jackson. Now throw out wide, going to be incomplete. As this one moves towards its conclusion, another incomplete pass there. Thoughts on the secondary? I mean, seem to be pretty effective in this one.
Yeah, I thought that they've been absolutely outstanding. I mean, their job is to prevent touchdowns, and not a single touchdown is going on the board against them. Of course, they want to make it a total shutout, but hey, if you don't give up touchdowns, you got a heck of a chance to win.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Again, Jackson. And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. That's going deep for Bateman. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now a handoff. Taylor with it. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Second down, another run with Taylor.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on 3rd down. Again, it's Taylor. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. 3 yards won't be enough here, as that'll bring up 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
A 40-yard attempt.
Well, somebody lit a fire under that offense during the break, Charles. Remember, they trailed at intermission. They come out, they have the big second half, and that lifts them to the victory.
And Brandon, trailing at halftime, we always talk about teams making adjustments. You know what the best adjustments usually are? It's just executing better. Because the game plan you put in place at the beginning of the week often still holds. You don't have to make wholesale changes. Just have to do it a little bit better, a little cleaner. And they did that in the second half, and that led them to victory.
So for Las Vegas, hey, they finish a perfect month of September as they move to 4-0 on the new campaign. And they'll get another road date next week. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, the defeat is their first of the year as they drop to 3-1. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everyone.